June the 13th, 2019. With a knotted stomach, I'm about to start a journey that will take me all around the world. I have dreamt of this moment for a long time. The bike is ready, but am I? First stop, Rambouillet, my old town. A lot of my friends still live there. It's good to catch up with them. For my second night, after a quick search, I found a local motorcycle club not far from where I was, the Bomb Raider MC. Lucky me, they were having a party that night. Perfect. From Saint-Dizier, I quickly stopped in Verdun War Memorial before crossing my first border and saying goodbye to friends for a while. I know the journey ahead of me will take some time. I enjoy being on the road and slowly realize that this is happening. Actually happening. It's no longer a dream but my life. In Gelsenkirchen, I take the time to stop at Felix's places. His workshop is the first of a long list. The magic of traveling doesn't take long to appear. In Redau, I met Monica and Delmar around a cold beer. After a quick chat and dinner, they kindly offered me to use their guest room for the night. On my way to Berlin, I set up my home in the middle of a forest, my first wild camping on this trip. I couldn't hope for a better spot. I spent a few days in Berlin, where I randomly met Doug, who is also a long-distance motorcycle traveler. I know him from different forums. He gave me precious advice about the rest of the trip. I wander around the city and discover its beauty with Lisa, a friend from New Zealand. It's time now to head up north towards Scandinavia. I try to camp as much as possible to reduce the cost. I cross Denmark without even stopping and arrive in Sweden. I have no idea of where to go. I try my luck in Halmstad and find the Insane MC, another local club. One of the guys let me set up my tent in his garden. Very nice of him. One of my goals on this tour is to meet as many bikers as possible and experience the bike culture all around the planet. With this in mind, the next day in a petrol station, I ask a biker if he knows any club in the area. He mentions the Tuxedo's MC in Motala. Their clubhouse is full of shoppers and tools. It looks like heaven for me. On my way to Riddarhytten, where my brother arranged a place for me to stay with some of his friends, I see two crazy-looking shoppers on the side of the road. I decide to check them out. The owner of one of them, Josef, tells me there's a biker party in town later that afternoon. The Revenge MC is celebrating the 30th anniversary. The party will last the whole weekend. I finally managed to meet Niklas and Julie, my brother's friends in Riddarhytten. One night in Salem before crossing another border, Norway. In Scandinavia, wild camping is allowed anywhere as long as you don't disturb and don't destroy. I don't know how, but in the middle of nowhere, my rear shock broke. The place around is beautiful, but freezing and very windy. After a few phone calls, Frank is on his way to pick up the bike. Back at his place, we find a pair of shocks that will get me back on track. Even when you think you're down and hopeless, the community is always there, ready to help. The next day, Frank rides with me on Norway's most scenic routes. In Trondheim, I stay with the Rams MC, a very old club celebrating the 45th anniversary. At the party, I met few members of the Eagles MC, and I am invited to another party the next weekend in Sweden. I spent almost a week with those guys, helping them to set the party up. After a heavy weekend, a group of 4 bikers joined me on my way north to Nordkap, the European northern tip. Along the way we stop every night in a different club. Since I arrived in Scandinavia, I have learned that clubs are always welcoming any travelers on 2 wheels. It makes my life a lot easier. I start to experience the midnight sun. It's a weird feeling. On the day of my 30th birthday, we cross a new border, Finland, and the Arctic Polar Circle as well. That's a gift I will not forget. We arrived late in our accommodation and of course every restaurant are already closed. We gather all our food and come up with pasta, crunch nuts on top and few leaf from outside herbs. It's a perfect birthday meal. Before reaching Nordkap, we stop in Alta, in Norway, for the Bunkers MC 40th anniversary, another very old club.
Just alright, just alright.
That's it, Nordkap. I've reached one of my goals. Now I will ride down south through Finland and Sweden. On the way, I stop in few clubs. It's amazing to see how many there are in this part of Europe.
Just alright. Well, it's just alright. Well, it's just alright.
Back at the Eagles MC party a couple of weeks ago, I met Heidi. She told me then that I could stay in her place for a bit if I happened to drive past. So, yeah, here I am. It's also time to do my first tires change. Heidi offers to spend a night in one of her friends' place. Why not? It's always good to meet new people, right? My visit in Sweden is almost over, but for my last night, the Heated MC is celebrating their 50th anniversary. 50 years. Now that's history. I couldn't miss the party. The next morning, I jump on a 10 hours ferry ride to Finland. In Hamina, the Kujasu MC look after me and host me for the night. They give me some really useful advice on my next border crossing, Russia.